Alright, this is Starseed Bey. How are you guys doing? Today I want to talk to you about the importance of September and how it marks the new year, every perceived year. If you look into the Ethiopian calendar, which is one of the oldest calendars, before the Gregorian calendar showed up, September 11th and September 12th mark the new year. And you got to ask yourself, why is January perceived the new year, when it's just it doesn't make any sense. If you look into all the seasons of the world, having January as a new year makes no sense, and I'm going to talk to you guys about that. So between September 11th and 12th marks the new year for the Ethiopian calendar. But if you do research on the energy of the new moon and the frequency of the full moon, you realize that a new year would really start on a new moon, because the new moon is when you begin your manifestation, and that's where it creates anew. It creates a new energy frequency for humanity, for yourself, and for humanity. So why September 11th, 12th? You know, in the Ethiopian calendar, a lot of events take place in September, and conveniently, September 11th is marked as a memorial, you know, for certain reasons. And if you do research on 9/11 and things like that, you're going to realize the entrapment and also opening for 9/11, because that sets the stage for humanity's energy. Why do you think they always promote wars? Like I said, they always promote wars between March. They start the wars, and then it goes into September. That kind of ends the wars, but creates a lot of distractions. I mean, look at all the distractions right now with rumors of wars, plus all the hurricanes and tornadoes. It's just a big distraction mess. A big mess. To distract you and get your energy and take your energy. You know, when you're distracted, it takes your energy. It does. I mean, there's no denying it. And that's where you have to really pinpoint where you're sending your frequency waves. There's a lot of distractions, and that's something I'll talk about later. Just gotta stay focused on September. So with your energy, you need to stay focused no matter what. New moon marks the stage and when you need to start your manifestation process. And conveniently, I looked up in the Bible, because no matter what people say, the Bible always has some form of answer, whether it be positive or negative. It also is very manipulative in a positive and negative way as well. And that's where it becomes a very complex and beautiful book in a lot of ways, because it really teaches you about deception as well. But anyways, but I did find some interesting scriptures that go with the new moon. So 2 Corinthians 4:16, for which cause we faint not, but though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. Meaning that the flesh, you know, the outward flesh, may continue to deteriorate, supposedly, yet your soul is renewed day by day. Hidden symbolism right there. The second one was thou saith the Lord. Well, actually I want to say the whole one. We'll save that one here in just a sec. Colossians 2 verse 16. Let no man therefore judge you in eating or in drink, or in respect of any festivals, or of the new moon, or of the Sabbath days. Again, you must keep yourself pure and stay away from distractions during this new moon process. So when I wrote this on my Facebook, are you ready for the new year, or are you going to fall into the trap of fear? September 20th marks the new moon. It is the new year and sets a new path for souls. There is a reason why the elite created September 11th as a doomsday, and why the first part of September is a huge distraction for everyone. If you look through history, September has always been a huge event of some kind. September 23rd creates a revelation for our ancestors with the star constellations and Jupiter's birth from the woman, the star constellation. Jupiter links to Zeus and to Christ. Does this mean the rebirth of Zeus energy and Christ energy? There will not be a doomsday for those who follow and walk Yeshua's, Christ's teachings. Focus on healing and not distraction and fear. Have faith, brothers and queens. The apocalypse, which translates to the great unveiling, will continue, and it is up to you to take care of yourself and travel away from worldly events and distractions and discover a path in life with Yeshua, Christ, and be uplifted in spirit and synergy. And the important thing about that is, people push religion away, and Christ's teachings always get overshadowed in this whole situation. You read about the life of Christ, and you will see the judgmental state of humanity and how they lost their way spiritually. And that's exactly why I wrote this, is because humanity is so distracted with everything that is thrown at them that they lose their spiritual aspect of self. And that's why it's so important right now to realize these revelations soon, because conveniently with September 20th being the new moon, 3 days after that, 3 days is a key word in the Bible, you have the birth of the Zeus energy / Christ energy. Jupiter is Zeus and Christ representation. So that's 3 days. And with a birth, you can kind of look at it as 3 days in the womb, 3 days of darkness coming out of the abyss, coming out of the universal womb. I've talked about that in the past as well. It's very interesting times. This whole thing just kind of just comes together, but it's nothing to fear, and it's nothing to over imaginate the situation. You have to understand how synergy and energy works. I can never stress that enough. Energy and synergy is everything. Our physical being is just a slow matter manifestation, because matter really is really fast. It's just really slow here. So we have solid state of being. I hope that makes sense. I really do. So last thing I'm going to read is Ezekiel. Actually, I got that open up here. I'm going to read this, and then I will be done. So hopefully this stuff will make sense to you guys. So Ezekiel 46. Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, or God, the gate of the inner court that looketh towards the east shall be shut the 6 working days, but on the Sabbath it shall be opened, and in the day of the new moon it shall be opened. And the prince shall enter by the way of the porch of that gate without, and shall stand by the post of the gate. And the priest shall prepare his burnt offerings and his peace offerings, and he shall worship at the threshold of the gate. Then he shall go forth, but the gate shall not be shut until the evening. Likewise, the people of the land shall worship at the door of this gate before the Lord in the Sabbath and in the new moons. and the Bible tells you right there, is that you need to prepare yourself mentally, spiritually, emotionally during each new moon stage. And the more advanced you get in energy, and the more advanced you realize the new moon, the full moon, so on and so forth, it's a frequency, it's a disc. You'll begin to see your manifestations grow. So you set forth stages of prayer, stages of meditation, the forms of energy that you bring out forth. The commands of words are powerful as well, but you gotta really look at it in a different way, because, like I said, the English language is really jacked up language. So when you speak your will and intent, speak it through your mind and not your mouth. Telepathically send that frequency out there, and that's how you begin your manifestation process. It's very interesting. But as a whole, yeah, September, you really need to stay away from the distractions. It's so very important right now. Things are manifesting so fast, and it's a very chaotic stage, as every new year is during September. And I've been studying September for 5 years now, and it's always the same process over and over and over again, and eventually humanity's going to catch on to it. So hopefully this makes sense. Please like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Check me out on Facebook if you're watching this on YouTube. We got to start cracking down on all of this mess that the elite has made for humanity. Once they made the Gregorian calendar, it really put humanity under a spell and a loss of how this world works. And that reminds me. So before I end this, let me talk to you about the beginning of the seasons. So with September marks the new year, right? So you get the fall equinox, which begins conveniently September 22nd. So the fall equinox begins September 22nd, and that marks the new year. So fall is the new year. Then we go into the winter solstice, and then we go into the spring solstice, and then we go into the summer solstice that will end the year back into the fall that begins a new year. So welcome to the new world, because that's how things are going to start to be run once humanity figures this out. So yeah, so definitely do research. Research is key in all of this. And as we work together, and as we grow together, we need to grow together and figure this stuff out, and quit dividing each other. So yeah, so anyways, love yourself, keep shining bright. Remember that you are the one that can create change, but make sure that that change is a calm, cool, collective manner that aids humanity and doesn't create more dividing. We have to join forces some way, shape, or form. And with these hurricanes, it is forcing people to come together. Just like right now, around Florida and stuff like that, everybody's coming together. Even if you had a conflict of interest, everybody's helping each other right now. And, they're helping, they're praying with each other. It takes a huge disaster to bring people together, and that's something that needs to change. Disasters should not be the only thing that brings people together. So I'll leave it at that. So I will talk to you guys in a little bit.